As many of you know by now, I've been making and selling my own hammers for about 5 years. They're made of brass so you can use them to set hand planes or to set work into a vise. I really like them. I keep like 4 of them that I use quite constantly, and I must have sold somewhere between 20 and 30. But about 2 years ago, I came up with a new design. I really like it. It has soft faces you can interchange. You can switch between brass, wood, leather, and swap them when they break down over time. But they never left a prototyping phase. I even made a bigger hammer and a smaller version. I love both, I use them all the time, but I've never made some to sell. I simply don't have access to the tools necessary to make these in any amount of scale. Even just making a couple was very slow. I love them, I use them all the time, but I can't really produce them. Machining lathes are super held back when it comes to creating rounded parts. They essentially can't do it, especially a small one like mine. To overcome these limitations, I actually use a wood lathe to create all the rounded parts on my hammers. The technique isn't the same as turning wood, and I have a whole video on this if you'd like to learn. I then follow up with a machinist lathe to turn the eye on the hammers. It's a lot more accurate that way. But on my latest design, the hammer heads are machined on all 6 faces, which means I have to be able to flip the part in the chuck on the same axe without losing accuracy. The new parts also have 4 tapped holes, which increases the amount of operations and the complexity of making these parts. All of that together makes these hammerheads possible to produce on my machinery, but almost impossible to do so profitably. Which is why I decided to reach out to JLC CNC to get these parts produced somewhere else at a reasonable price with machinery that is much superior to mine. This essentially gives me access to CNC lathes and 5-axis CNCs, which I could only dream of having access to otherwise. I'm happy about this sponsorship because I've always wanted to try to CNC metal. It opens up so many possibilities. Getting my design produced was surprisingly simple. I started by making an AutoCAD file of what I wanted to be made, which in my case wasn't too complicated, and I visited their website glccnc.com to see the limitations of their CNC production. You can easily make parts on CAD that is impossible to produce in real life, so it's important to pay attention to how these parts are going to be machined once they're actually made. That being said, there was still some features on this part that I was quite unsure about. There's a bore here that doesn't have a radius at the bottom, and these little pinstripes are quite shallow and really sharp. The threading on this hole is also a little bit demanding. I decided to just send the part like this and see if they said anything. Submitting the part for production was quite simple. I simply uploaded the step file, chose my material, in this case brass. They offer different surface finishes, but in my case I didn't need that. You can choose your tolerances, which will affect the price. You can also choose the roughness of the surface, but for this project I didn't touch that. In my case I have threaded holes, so I uploaded a technical document that clearly lists what the threaded holes are and what their dimensions are. I also added other dimensions so they could double check if needed. The quantity will obviously drastically impact the price per unit. And you can also select how fast a part is going to be made, and that will also affect the price. The price it shows you is just an estimation, and only after submitting your thing will you get the actual price later on. In my case, it was actually cheaper than the estimation. During the review process, they might send you feedback if there's problems, but in my case everything went well. JLC CNC can produce parts in 3 to 5 days, which makes them perfect for prototyping, even though in this case I used them for the final product. I was quite surprised by the affordable price, and I love the fact there's no hidden fees. The process was also quite simple, which makes it perfect for engineers and hobbyists alike. The pieces came well wrapped, and I'm actually quite impressed by the quality of the machining. There's hardly any machining marks, which honestly for me kinda sucks because I was curious to see exactly how they machined them, and I can hardly tell. There's also no burrs, even though I didn't ask for any specific surface finish. I'm happy to see that the features that I thought might not machine well machined fantastically and everything's good. It's actually quite impressive. I also ordered a single one of my old hammer design out of steel just to see how the steel would turn out, and the quality's great. The hammerheads came covered in a protective layer of grease, which I need to remove before being able to paint the stripes. For my first hammer handle, I'm making one out of spalted maple for a customer, which tends to be quite soft. So I'm going to reinforce it with a core of hard maple, which I've done in the past and works fantastically. but I think I did not clear the chips enough on this one, so the hole's a bit cattywampus. For both the aesthetics and the functionality, these handles do have some fairly precise tolerances, but I've made so many of them, I hardly have to measure them now. This jig lets me cut the hexagonal handles on these hammers, and it fits both the smaller hammers and the bigger ones. All I have to do is turn the handle between passes and push a clamp into place. It's super simple. I also added a plexiglass viewing window because it did explode in my face once, which was not ideal. The most complex part of these hammers is making the part of the handle that joins the hammerhead to the handle. This is a hand-cut concave part that I make entirely with gouges. The fit between these two parts will dictate if the hammerhead is on right or on crooked. This will also change as I put the wedge in, so I need to consistently test with the wedge. The whole process can easily take an hour. I've tried optimizing this part of the process for production in the past, but I find it's really what gives this hammer the charm. A different way of mounting the hammerhead would lead to a completely different look. The large hammers are made exactly the same as the smaller ones, and yet somehow mounting the head is much more difficult. The fit on the hammer handle has to be exactly perfect, otherwise the handles want to split. When attaching the handles, the wood for the handle has to be extra dried, which makes the problem even worse. Out of all the woods I've worked with, maple is the most forgiving. So for these larger hammers, I'll be offering them only out of maple but with different stains. The logos are made with a chisel and hammer, which is really old school, but I really like that about it. It did take me a few years to get consistent results though. I could have also had the interchangeable faces made, but I decided to make them on my lathe since it's pretty straightforward. I might have ordered the wrong size die, so maybe don't do that. For the wooden faces, I'm using a combination of the wood lathe and the metal lathe to have fast repeatable parts. I did some off-camera tests, and these end grain hammer faces can take a surprising amount of abuse. I shipped the hammers with all 3 faces in the box. The wood one is great for general purpose woodworking. The leather is my favorite one, it's perfect for putting in finished parts or anything that's really delicate. And the brass one is perfect for hitting metal, which can be for punches or setting things in a vise, really anything. I'm super happy with the result. I was able to improve on my initial design while keeping it just as pretty. It's definitely one of my favorite tool designs so far. It's really pretty, which as a tool collector I definitely enjoy, but it stays very functional. If you'd like to support the channel, these hammers and some other tools I've made in the past are all available in the description. I also have an Instagram if you'd like to see more content. I definitely post on there a lot more.